It's being described as the biggest shake-up in jails in a generation. A major overhaul of the justice system has been laid out today with the key message that prison governors must get inmates off drugs and into jobs. And for the first time, the need to reform offenders, as well as punish them, will be set out in law. It's projects like this one at Onley Prison in Warwickshire that the government wants to see across England and Wales. Here, inmates can complete a full-time course to become bike mechanics in the on-site cycle workshop with a guaranteed job on release.
We put people in prison, we deprive them of their liberty to punish them. But at the same time, for the sake of society and for the sake of those people, we need to make sure that when they leave prison, they leave likely to get a job, with improved education, with improved health.
The Prisons and Courts Bill will give governors in England and Wales freedom over budgets for education, employment and health. Every prison will be ranked in a league table for the first time, with governors held to account if inmates reoffend or don't find work. And measures to clamp down on smuggled mobile phones will be introduced to help reduce organised crime. Ministers believe changes will transform crisis-hit prisons, but critics have questioned whether they go far enough to address the problems of overcrowding, violence and the recent spate of riots. Well, joining me here in the studio is Callum, who's there in the middle. He managed to turn his life round after spending time in jail. Also with us, Jakob Tas, the Chief Executive of NACRO, which is a charity which helps rehabilitate offenders. Jakob, you listened to that backgrounder from me. Has Liz Truss got it right this time?
I think Liz Truss has it right in terms of highlighting the importance that a prison and the offenders in it are a captive audience, and the purpose of prison should therefore be rehabilitation. I think, therefore, we commend her for coming out, changing the law to highlight this, but it's only the starting point. It's not that we haven't tried things in the past.
Let's talk about what's been tried in the past, because, as I said in the introduction to you, you did something wrong, you got banged up, you've turned yourself round. What specifically happened to you in that prison experience that was a positive rather than negative? What helped you turn around?
Teachers taking the time, obviously, to invest in me and showing me new skills and actually taking the time to teach me things instead of just ticking a box and saying, yep, he's rehabilitated.
And those were people who'd come in as educators, as trainers. Did you sense that the other prison staff, the wardens, as it were, the prison officers, did they buy into that approach as well?
Some of them did and some of them didn't, but they're a bit understaffed, so it's a lot hard to, like, say.
He's cracked it perfectly in two. Some of them did and some of them didn't, and they're understaffed. Liz Truss has addressed the understaffing issue. Yes. Some of them didn't buy into it. Unless they do, it's a waste of time.
I think it's a collective. So we all agree, again, also government, but particularly also from a NACRO perspective. Yes, it's so important to engage on an individual level. So prison guards, officers, have a real opportunity, if they had the time and the interest. We need to make sure collectively, but particularly also with organisations like NACRO, to engage with the individual. So what we were able to do with Callum in the prison he was in is to talk to him. What do you want? How can we help you change your life around? And we have been able, particularly on the transition back in society, to be able to, through the gate, help him both inside and out.
Did you sense as well that some of the people that you were mixing with and spending time with were absolutely determined to turn their backs on this, whether it was offered to them or not? They were just determined, do the time, get out there and offend again.
I think if there's real reform, then people will be able to change, but it's also down to the individual person whether they want to change or not.
So it's the system that could turn each and every inmate round, in your view?
Not each and every one, but majority.
Yes, definitely. I would totally echo that. Definitely far more than we're turning around now, because as we all know, 50% come back to prison. They generate, therefore, more victims, more costs to society. We really have to relentlessly focus on those people who are willing to turn their lives around, work with them individually, and help them for us all to be in a safer place.
Thank you very much for the thoughts on the policy, and thank you particularly for those insights from someone who's actually been through it. Thank you both.